I've got to take a selfie with y'all while he's getting set up because I've got a
Hey, you
friend
gotta look,
who's
though.
a big fan.
She's
Ready?
taking selfies herself.
Worley, can you slide it? Can you slide in there?
In the picture?
Yeah.
Can I get in?
You'll see.
Oh, yeah.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Got a call last night.
1, 2, testing. You check. Yeah, my level's good. Yeah.
Girl,
No.
I saw your leg. It,
Yeah.
I'll save it. I'll save it and we'll talk about it. While my little girl just had a horrible car accident. Had to be life flighted to Vanderbilt just a few days ago, and her right knee was her worst injury. It's really bad, but they think that she might be okay. So we'll talk about it when we get started.
Yeah. We'll be praying for it too. Yeah.
Well, the beautiful part about this is he's already rolling, so that's how we'll start the episode.
Well,
We're back.
Oh,
See how I did that? 'Cause that was just as genuine. That was just as genuine, and y'all's reaction was just so sweet. Y'all don't know Sweet Savannah, but she is one of the coolest 16-year-olds on the face of the planet.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So-
She's very
My
pretty.
heart would just be
Girl.
on the ground.
We can talk about it. I guess now we're already rolling.
We're rolling,
We're
so-
going. Going.
That's a good way to do that because that'll be very real. That's really sounds like life.
Yeah, for sure.
And do y'all know that song at all? Sounds like life to me. It ain't no fantasy. Just a common case of everyday reality.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that was a big hit for us
Oh.
years
need to
ago.
have y'all need to cut that or something.
Listen.
Listen with their Darryl Worley with their harmony and you
Listen.
singing
Oh my
that?
gosh, yeah.
Oh my
Well,
if you ever-
they need to do it and leave me out.
Look, I
might
would say
sound a
if
little
you
better.
ever do a reboot, we
I
are
could hear that.
so down.
It was a
Oh
number
my
one.
gosh.
I mean,
You
it's
check it out. You go listen. Darryl Worley sounds like life. You'll love the
Oh my
message of the
gosh.
song.
Yeah.
It's- And it's all I wrote it about a real
I
person.
think I would say I think Helen, get your teeth, okay?
Oh my gosh.
That's
You got to
what
take care of each other
Gotta
on
take
that.
care of each
Look,
other.
I
We do
tell
it all
you
the
something.
time.
And that's literally the beauty of being in a trio because if I were a solo act, the world would see me with nothing but lipstick all over my
Girl,
tail.
you
But
don't-
they're
I
like,
said,
"Listen."
Tree act like an old woman named Helen.
I come off the, I
Like,
come
fix
off
your
the
teeth.
stage one night. It's been several years ago, but I knew all of my guys were really close. We were a tight group, a big group. We had a lot of people on the road at the time. And I had a big old, like a North Star zit on my neck. I mean, it was like another.
It had a name.
It was starting to grow a head, you know. It was
Had
like
a pulse.
and I saw that thing in the mirror on the bus, and I walked in there and I got everybody in the front lounge. And I said, "Here's how it's gonna be, fellas." I said, "Next time this happens, somebody's gonna get their pay docked." And I said, "But know this: if you walk out and you're about to go out on stage with a big old booger hanging out of your nose, at least everybody for one turn." I'm not saying a word. And I said, because you let me walk out with this.
Come on.
And they're all
You
like,
let me walk out with Johnson shining right there.
Exactly.
He got a first and a last name, okay?
right.
Leroy, girl from my
Leroy.
neck.
Leroy Johnson.
Leroy
It's got
Johnson.
a different zip code than my head. It's got its own zip code.
Yeah.
But,
Well, I tell you what, though, look, it's important to have some people who'll tell you when you got
Because
boogers and
Gotta-
zits.
between Tree having lipstick on her teeth and Danica she always
Hey.
has food in her teeth.
Watch
No,
it
no, it's
now.
not
Hey.
food.
It's
It's always
specifically
something green. Like
It's
we can
always
be green.
green.
At least
food.
you're eating healthy.
I try to do good, get a salad, and she don't let me. I don't even
I'm
finish
like,
chewing yet.
but
You
we'll
got
be-
stuff in your teeth.
We'll be
I'm like,
eating
let me
steak and
finish.
potatoes,
At least
nothing
you're
green.
not-
But at least I'm not letting you just.
But you would think by now when she go, hold on 1 second, and she put the camera, I should know better. And I'm like, what? She like, smile. And then I get it, and it's
She
just
do
the
a big corny
biggest
smile every time.
It's like a tree
Green.
sitting right in the front of my.
Oh
And
my
so,
God.
but
You
it-
want to have some trouble with your food, grow you one of these.
I was gonna say I've been learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got back to the room.
Flavor saver.
They ain't got no mirrors at Waffle House. So I got back to the room today, and I had enough breakfast in my beard for another person. I was
Hey,
like,
look.
good
Time you
night.
groom it and get all the eggs and sausage
Get
out.
that comb out.
I hate to even start talking music, but I think we'd hate ourselves if we didn't talk too.
Listen.
This was too much fun. Oh,
We
go
got to
ahead.
do this right quick. So
Okay.
let me tell you why your thing that you're using made me think of Savannah. and my daughter, and her right knee was her worst injury in the crash, and there was 22 minutes that I didn't we were traveling trying to get home from New Mexico, and I think that I was in the airport in El Paso when I got this. I turned my phone on and I just got this message popped up and it said SOS alert. And I never seen anything like that. And I looked at a couple of lines of it and I went, who knows what that crap is? And I just turned it off. And it was about 4 or 5 minutes later, it did it again, the same thing. And so I scrolled on and it was telling me my daughter had a car crash.
Wow.
Her cell phone knew.
Oh, and it notified you?
Yes, me and
360?
well, we do have that, but that thing didn't work like it was supposed to. But part of that could be I don't have it on my phone. My wife has it because she's the one that's home all the time, and she watches my daughter like a hog. Like, you went 76 miles an hour, and I know. No, I didn't, Mama. Yes, you did.
The drill sergeant. Okay,
Yes,
look,
yeah.
watching the private.
So it didn't work, and I said it's probably because of where my wife is located. She stays on the once. Anyway, the farm and all that is crazy. We have a house on the farm, but we have another house that I had to buy for her parents. Now her mother passed, so they live over in the big house, we call it, with her daddy to look after him and stuff. But and they don't get a real good phone service there on their phones. My phone works perfectly in that house. So it's just craziness. But she is back home. She had numerous surgeries. They didn't say you will have 100% recovery on your knee. Like what he did say was, I don't see you running marathons, but he said, I don't think that you are going to have any problems with normal activity,
That's good.
like walking.
What a blessing.
They told her that he said, she asked about riding horses because she loves to ride horses and
Will she be able to?
oh yeah. He said that won't be anything.
I say a marathon.
I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you what I think. Let me tell you what I think's crazy though. So they can tell you this. About 3 or 4 months ago, I decided that I was going to run a marathon. Now that's the craziest thing because I've always said if I run more than a mile and a half, that's because the law's after me. 'Cause somebody's chasing me. Yes. But I started
Reels, by the
thinking
way.
about it, and then when he said that, I just went. I didn't say a word. I told Savannah when he did say, he said, now some kids your age, youth's on your side, the genetic code may kick in. It could fill in these spots of bone just exactly like you were born. And he said, and I said, that's what we're claiming in Jesus' name, and that's how it's going to be. And I said, and then me and her may run a marathon. And I already been talking to her about it, and she's real depressed right now. But she's going to be okay. And God was good to us, man. It was a head-on collision. It was brutal, and both of them were hurt, but neither one killed. And
No, that's so
oh man, but that 22 minutes is the longest period of time in my life I've had to wait. My wife was driving with a friend to get to the hospital, and she was in the helicopter, and we're just once she left her. Kimberly said, I don't think that she's like unstable, but she had a lot of stuff going on, and she had the reason they flew her, they thought she had internal injuries, but she didn't.
Wow.
So yeah. So let's get to.
I tell you what, though, I feel like it's almost like you stop breathing.
Oh, you do.
I said my oldest daughter, bless her. I tell you, she about to have a wreck every month. Okay, I'm like, Lord, we got to get this girl some driving lessons.
But cheaper to have a driver
for every call, and she said, I had a wreck. I'm like, oh my God, like your heart just like.
I don't
sinks
know
down
if
there.
I
I'm
could
like,
handle
oh.
that. I don't know if I can do that again, because this was not no play little. This was a.
Not a fender
This
bender.
was a.
Yeah.
When my
look,
wife
the
sent me the
whole car.
pictures of the cars,
Ooh. Yeah.
I was in the airport, had all my band, and I was like, I thought the best thing I can do is crawl inside my shell, and that's what I did, because I didn't want to dump all that on them. Right, it was, and we were struggling to get home. I didn't get home. That's the craziest thing. I didn't get home. I don't want this to be our whole episode, but I've got to tell you this. I couldn't get a flight. There was no way. So I had to spend a night in Dallas, and I thought they were going to operate on her early the next morning. I would probably not be there for the surgery. Well, they wound up pushing the surgery back. I made it in plenty of time. All that worked out. when I finally got to go through the 1,400 plus text messages that people sent to me saying they were praying for my daughter, there were 3 offers in those text messages, and they would have done it. Every one of these people that said this would have done it. Call this number, and we will send a private jet to get you right now. It doesn't matter what time it is, and fly you to Nashville.
Wow.
But I just wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
And so, all right.
Yeah. Let me tell
But,
you what. Look,
It's crazy when you know like especially you say going through those 1,400 texts of people praying. Having strong prayer warriors in your
Girl.
corner makes
All over the world,
the
too.
difference
That's
in the
something.
world.
All over the
I'm
world.
telling you.
Bangladesh, Brazil, all these countries. And this one guy was a missionary. He came back from Vietnam he was over there with my tour manager they were in special forces. He came back and did 17 years in the mission field. And he said, tell Darryl at 6:30 tonight, there's going to be 23, it was thousands of people. And they're going to be praying, all of them together at that same time, but they're in all these different countries. And I just went, thank you, Lord.
something. Let me tell you what, even if this is the whole episode, I tell you what, there is absolutely no secret what God can do. And he is just absolutely in the blessing business. And every now and then we'll have a show or a thing where we'll go and we'll sing gospel music, and we often sing goodness of God. And I said, I am just so blessed to say that I've lived through the goodness of God.
Yes.
Even when I was crazy and I was nuts,
Yes.
he covered me.
Oh, absolutely.
And even to this day, he
Power
covers
in the
my
blood.
family. Look, and I tell you what. And so I mean,
You made me start squalling.
Look, I'm telling you, I said I'm so moved
Oh.
because I had vocal surgery 2 years ago. And craziest thing. And when I tell you, I can't do nothing but sing. I can't do nothing. I said, Lord, if I ain't do this, I'd be somebody's worst nightmare in customer service. And be twisted and turned around and can't even help you because I can't help me.
Oh,
But
that's funny.
I said, Lord, I don't even know what else I can do. I said, you got to come through for me on this one. Because if I can't sing, that's all I got. And I said, I promise you, if you get me through this one, I'll say and sing whatever it is that you want me to do.
He gave that to you for a reason.
And so I don't know. He's had me in such a weird season now, but it's being able to just hear miracle after miracle after miracle.
Okay, I'm gonna give you something. This is supposed to happen, I guess.
Yeah.
We will get to the music, I promise you. But I'm gonna give you something right now. So our barn burned on January 16th of this year. It was horrendous. We lost everything that we've been farming with for 20-something years.
Oh wow.
I can't remember the date, but 2.5, 3 months ago, my wife had a horrible side-by-side accident. It flipped over on top of him and it crushed her arm. She was in Vanderbilt for several days. She had to have trauma surgery. Then bam, 2.5 months later, my daughter this happened. Back to Vanderbilt. I'm saying, we're like on first name basis with all the people over there now.
Right.
But let me tell you this, and I won't go into great detail, but my wife and my daughter both can be forgetful about things, and neither one of them are really the greatest at putting their seatbelt on. And my daughter's the worst, but I stay on them about it all the time. I'm like, that's going to save your life one day. You need to be wearing it, blah, blah, blah. So after Kimberly's accident, Savannah, my daughter, gets in my truck one day and she puts her seatbelt on without me saying anything. And I went, you don't want one of them scars on your arm that goes from your shoulder to your elbow joint like your mama's got, do you? And she laughed and she said, no, I don't, Daddy. I said, that makes me really happy to see you do that. Well, she had her seatbelt on when she crashed.
Oh.
And my wife's crash, I was like, why? I know better than to ask why, because I'm not supposed to understand.
Mm-hmm.
But my wife's crash saved my daughter's life. You think about it. Then the girl that she hit, my daughter fell asleep. I have a sleeping disorder. We think she has a sleeping disorder. She crashed into this girl. She was bunged up pretty bad. It broke her tibia in 2 places, broke 9 ribs. But she was complaining with pain in her chest. And they said, well, that's your airbag and your seatbelt. But we have to x-ray your thoracic spine anyway to look for anything that might be damaged. And he said, we'll see it if there's anything wrong at that point. Well, she's a heavy smoker, works at a nursing home right around the road from our farm. In her 40s, they found a spot on her lung while they were x-raying her. Could be cancer. They said it didn't look good, but it's very small. And they said if it hasn't spread, that's the kind of stuff we can
Wow.
But had that not happened, you'd
this
never
wreck
know.
could have saved her life. So that it just keeps going on and on and on. And people, you hear people say all the time, the Lord works in mysterious
And
ways.
it's not always for you. What
That's
you
exactly
go through, the things we go through isn't even always
That's right.
for you. And Danica tells us all the time, it's not about us. Like it's literally you I think it's never for you.
Yeah.
And it's
Isn't
like,
that it's so profound. I mean, I would never think to do something like that. And I think when he shows us that he's not just showing us that I am omniscient, I'm all knowing, I'm omnipotent, I'm all powerful. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. He's also showing us that, the scripture says, don't try to understand my ways because my ways are so much higher than your ways. So just, my mom said, lean back into it and relax because you're not going to figure it out. She said, and I mean, sometimes I feel like she's speaking to me going, he's told me some of them secrets now. Mom's going on. And I know she's like, I know why that happened now. And I know why this happened. And it's amazing.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. It's just how it is.
It's crazy whenever you think about it. And sometimes it's, I gotta get my words together.
Let me put you on the spot while you gather your words, because I think it's only fitting that we're having this conversation and going completely off script and off the notes and
boy,
the
I
things.
tell
Don't
you what,
be
the Holy
sorry.
Ghost
Well,
picked
we
the
just-
topic today.
Because we're in the, we're in
We
the
just
mother
about
church.
got
That's
shouting
where
over
we're
here.
there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put you on the spot. You can
Come on.
absolutely say no because we didn't ask permission or any of this stuff.
None.
But if you had a song that you could sing to the Worley family, could you give me a couple lines?
This is Travis.
This is just me.
You mean
Is that-
right now with what we're going through, or
just because we can talk music all day, but if all these fans
You ain't
hear
gonna-
y'all sing a couple
you ain't gonna
lines,
scare them?
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
if these fans hear y'all sing a couple lines, they can Google all the fun stuff about you.
Yeah.
Right. But
But
honestly,
to hear what we heard, I mean, we're sitting here, we stopped what we were doing when y'all were doing sound checks because we could hear what was
That's
going on out there. And so, no pressure.
Yeah, but I honestly think that song is kind of the perfect one given this situation. And I feel like just this season in general, and sometimes it gets to where it's like almost crazy. Like you say, this happens and this happens and this happens. But I've almost gotten to the point where like when it seems like the world is falling apart, I kind of get excited because it lets me know that something is on the brink,
Something's
something that the
coming.
devil's trying to block, something is
Tuesday's
happening.
coming.
Hey,
Look, I tell you what, I said
Tuesday's
it's one of those things. And one time I kind of I called myself getting a little upset with God. It's like, why do you keep doing this to me? Why do you? I ain't even up from the last time I got knocked down, and you let something else. He said, because how are you going to tell your testimony with no test?
Girl, that's the
If
truth.
you look, how are you going to tell people that I was already down and he still made a way if I get you up every time?
You
and
can't.
I said, whew. He have a way of gut checking me, and I got a little smart mouth too. And he gut check me. Sometimes I go, ooh, and he is God.
This is a whole nother podcast, but I've been in horrible places with my Lord, and I mean, and said and spoke horrible things.
Tell it.
But I mean, it sort of goes with what you go through in life, and like my daddy would say to my older brother who's been through it too. He said, "Son, I don't care how smart you are, you can't figure out how to get unsaved.
Ain't no way.
When you became a child of God,
That's it.
that's it.
It's in you.
And I think we all have times like that. I think, and I'm like you. I know when it's getting. I told my wife, I said, we joke about it coming in threes.
That's it.
Well, that's three
the
for
old
me.
Southern look.
That's three.
That's the old Southern saying.
I mean, we always almost through this year now, but that's three for this year. Three really big ones. But if y'all wanna,
Yeah, look.
Throw a little on me.
And then, look, this might be terrible, but
That's why. Hey, we're not live. We can edit whatever we want to.
look, there we go. Let's see. I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God.
Oh man.
Hey,
we shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
There was something that just, I know what
That
it
is the
was,
right
but that was,
song.
that was
Hey.
it.
Your mercy.
please look,
Thank
you
you.
tell Savannah, even if she don't understand it, she's living through the goodness of God right now. And I tell you what,
Believe me, we've been telling her.
Look,
and
yeah.
you're right. You're
Yeah.
so right. So, and something happened in the days following that incident. I just wound up on the phone or face to face with all these people that I know and love that I grew up with, and they have been parents and they have lost a child. And one of my best friends that does a lot of work at my place, he lost his 17-year-old son in a car accident, truck accident, and it just went through me like a lightning bolt. I thought, here I have this foundation, and we do something for everybody. We got a cancer treatment center. We got all this other stuff going on. We ain't doing nothing for them people, but we fixing to. We're fixing to have a retreat, maybe 2 or 3 a year. We're going to bring people from all over the country that have lost their child. Can you imagine if you can just breathe a little hope back into that life?
Yeah.
How that just hope is powerful.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you something. For 22 minutes, I didn't have a lot.
Look,
It was life-changing. It has changed me and my wife. We're like, don't mess with me over no small stuff right now. 'cause
look, right?
Take that. You go somewhere else with that. I'm happy.
I love that, but you're about to get ready to restart the clock for a lot of people. A lot of people hadn't breathed
That's
in
it.
years and years and years.
We're gonna
and
do something about that.
Look, I love that.
We
I
are.
love that.
I mean, when it hit me, I was like, how could I have missed this? Well, he made sure I didn't miss it now.
Look, I tell you what.
That's another thing coming out of this experience.
It's crazy. I had a car wreck in 2009. I fell asleep driving and hit a fence post. I was with my little brother. And
that's my fault. I have narcolepsy, and we think my daughter does. That's
Really?
what caused her wreck.
And that's why when you said that, I said, Lord, look, he's got a way of like turning to making those full circle moments, making real big turns on them full circle moments. And I remember just weeping one night. I had my wreck, and then there was another classmate of mine. He had a wreck and he hit a tree and he's paralyzed to this day. And another, Megan Ladner, she was coming and it was foggy and she came around the corner. She had a wreck and died same year as me. I said, what did I do to deserve it? Absolutely nothing. And so goodness of God is
that's powerful stuff. That's more than a song. That's a message. And it's actually several messages. What you want to ask a question? Hang on. I know I'm gonna disappear, but this has got me all.
He's got a little bit.
Listen, look. Oh.
I mean, so go to.
I mean, hey, I didn't.
So I mean,
I didn't wiped it all up. We're just gonna have to fix my face.
We'll give him plenty of time to go get redone and all that good stuff. Thankfully, his makeup doesn't take too long to redo.
There you go.
I got hair makeup. I'm good.
There you go.
He's good. Tell me about the music. I mean, obviously and that was what I'm thankful that moment came just now, because from what I've always seen on TV or heard watching, y'all are real people.
Oh yeah.
And that sound comes from the core of that. So tell us more about it.
Yeah, we want everybody. So let me tell you this thing here. Last thing in the world I thought I'd ever do. When I first heard of the podcast, I thought it had something to do with fishing.
It really did.
Swear. Telling you the truth. I thought that must be a new bait. I'm gonna have to try that.
Sure,
and so I'd never dreamed I'd be doing this, but let me tell you, our deal is working. And so we already got a bunch of people watching this. Y'all talk it up, and you're gonna get some fans out.
And
of it.
introduce yourselves first.
Well, they gonna see us
We
crying
skipped
like a
all
bunch
that.
of
We got
babies.
we got
We got right
introduce yourselves.
Okay, well, now that we ain't squalling like a bunch of babies.
I'm sorry.
I'm Tree.
I'm Danica.
I'm Devin,
And we're Chapel Hart.
Oh, y'all practiced that
awesome.
before.
Where does Treva?
Tree.
Is that just your name, Tree?
Triana.
Triana. Well,
That's
I asked you
beautiful.
because my mama's youngest sister was Treva, and we
Tree.
called her Tree,
Oh.
and she was one of my favorite people in
How
the world.
cool.
So she was
Hey,
beautiful.
Trees are the best.
And
I mean, what
sometimes
can
I'm
I
gonna
say?
send you a picture of her favorite tree, which was on my farm.
Which
It was
what
probably
kind
200
is it?
years, a big, huge oak
Oak
tree,
tree?
and the most beautiful tree you could ever imagine.
Mm.
I put it on album covers.
Did it have come hither branches?
Oh,
It's-
indeed it
Oh,
did. We would
man.
trim some of that stuff off because it messed up the circle. This thing looked like a perfect circle. And it was massive. And she told me before she passed, and we knew she was going. She said, "If you sell this property, you better keep the acre around that tree." And she said, "If you don't, I'll come back to haunt you."
Yeah.
And the-
Sounds like a tree.
thing to say.
Yeah.
She passed away. She passed away in the fall. The next spring, the tree died. She took it with her.
That was her tree.
She
Took
ain't
it with
trust
her.
you to keep that acre.
That's
Look,
right.
she said, "Let me take medicine
Let
to my
me
own."
tell
acre."
her
That sounds like
tree.
a song lyric
Oh,
right there,
that's
Worley.
fine.
I'll show you the pictures of that
Oh,
tree.
my
It's unbelievable.
goodness.
We even
Wow.
took pictures of it when it was dying because it was
Oh.
beautiful. It was even beautiful in death. Oh, man.
Now that is
I didn't mean to
Yeah,
interrupt
I'll
again.
Nah,
Y'all
I
need to come
love
back and do this again.
Right, we
Yeah.
got a part
He said
two.
them all.
I feel like we might have to have a 2 or 3 parter. Cause,
Yeah,
We can do it.
We might just be supposed to cut something together, and I
You know what?
Well,
I write a bunch of stuff that's like what you just sung.
That's
too.
right. But
Look.
I feel like them 22 minutes.
Oh,
22 minutes. Every time you said it, it hit me.
Oh.
It's something in them 22
Yeah.
minutes. Like that's a lifetime.
I know it was life-changing.
Oh,
I do know that.
Look, these old creative wheels is rolling. Okay, look.
Tell us about this music
Yeah.
and stuff.
Keep going.
well, I'll kick it off and then you can pick. But like, and only because like we were talking to some kids. We went to a school recently in Memphis, and I was like, I tell them we write life music.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. It might be something that we've experienced personally, something we've seen somebody go through. But like you said, like maybe you can hear it in the music, and that's just
Absolutely.
where the genuineness comes from. But
Mm-hmm.
like never in a million years will we have thought that people around the world is going to be identifying with songs that
Oh,
3
yeah,
little
they-
knuckleheads from Mississippi wrote.
Yeah.
But
2.
Yeah.
it's
I'm not a knucklehead.
Knucklehead and an idiot.
She resents
There you
that.
go. 2 knuckleheads.
She resents that remark.
Yeah.
She went too.
She my little sister. I can say that. But yeah, like and also people always talk about and I like that you said that. It's like y'all have that realness, and sometimes we're a little too real. You know what I mean?
real.
No such
Our
thing.
Not for this
grandparents-
podcast.
look,
No.
Sounds like life is what it's called.
Hey, come on! Our grandparents had 17 children, and there's
How
100
many?
17.
17.
And there's 108 grandkids.
Oh,
and
wow.
So when I say we don't have that like filter of like
No, can't.
that
It's
right.
survival.
And so when people are like, "Man, y'all so authentic," and or people say, "Don't go to Nashville and change." I said, "I done been this way my whole life. I don't even know what
Girl.
else I can
Also,
be."
our family, they're gonna keep us humble. First of all,
Ooh,
they're
yeah.
gonna make sure they let us.
That's
know
what my family
all ain't
did.
doing
Look,
nothing.
slap you with the humble tree real quick.
Come,
That's what
come
my
make these
family
plays.
did.
Yeah, come make a play.
I was like,
Come make a play.
that was
You
literally
done went
the
up to
last.
Nashville. You can't take the trash out no more.
The last
It's like,
Sunday we were. The
let me
last
just grab
Sunday
this
we were
bag
at
before I
home.
go.
I work harder now.
Yeah, I was gonna say it.
No, the last Sunday we were at home. Anytime we're at home on a Sunday, I make it my business. I go out to church, and we just got a new pastor at our home church, and then the pastor's wife came around. It was after church, and everybody's getting together eating, and she asked and she's like, "Why are you making her go fix plates?" I said, "That ain't nobody but Tree. She home, and we need hands. She fixing these plates."
I love it.
Like we have
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
our Uncle Craig. He's like, I don't like Chapel Hart. I like y'all.
He said, "Now
He
I
was
love
like-
my nieces. I
But-
can't stand that Chapel Hart."
That's
we,
funny,
you
y'all.
serious?
we were in the airport and we were walking with him and
That
somebody
made
was
me
like,
laugh.
"That's Chapel
Yeah.
Hart." He said, "Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. I just want to get to my terminal."
Or like he knows we like to eat. So like anytime
Yeah.
he'll just pop up at a show wherever, and he was like, "Come on, I'm taking y'all to eat."
Yeah.
And like people will come up, and he was like, Here we go again.
It's
Like,
Chapel Hart business.
That is
There
so
you go.
funny because I got an older brother that's like that. He's like that guy. And we'll be out somewhere and they go, oh, I ain't into all this. And somebody, we'd be walking through a
Darryl
parking
Worley.
lot and they go, hey. And my brother's like, just say no, let's go.
Yeah.
Ain't no pictures, ain't no autographs today, okay?
It's so
It's,
funny. That's your
look.
uncle.
The
yeah,
Uncle
Uncle
Craig.
Craig.
Uncle Craig.
Yeah.
I love
So
it.
we're at in Mississippi.
Poplarville,
The
Mississippi.
coolest city.
Maybe you
in
heard of it.
Mississippi.
It's the
Maybe you
blueberry
haven't.
capital
of the world.
I know where it is.
What?
Oh yeah, I just watched a special. Maybe it was on this morning about Oxford
Yes.
wait a
and
minute.
Ole Miss and a bunch of the old history and stuff. It was really, really interesting, but it got me thinking on Mississippi because my people, my mother's daddy, and all his people from Mississippi.
I knew
I knew we like
It's in the,
Darryl.
as he says, it's in the water.
We're the highest part of Mississippi, the northernmost
Delta?
part, Burnsville, Corinth, Mississippi, and Iuka, and it's all right on the Tennessee River, and so we're on the other side in the edge of Tennessee. We're 10 miles from the state line, and also 10 miles from the Alabama state line. And that right there is a lot of redneck influence.
It sure is.
People talk to me and said,
you
they say you sound really southern. I said, well, you can't hardly get away from it right there where we are. Tell me exactly the location of it,
So
the closest city to it.
So we're right between Hattiesburg and Biloxi.
I knew it was down.
Yeah,
This
South.
way
yeah.
down. Wait,
Right, right. You guys probably felt the effect of that storm that came on shore, and a couple of years back or 3 years.
Was it
Katrina
Isaac?
or
It was
we
the-
had a couple.
They all hit us.
I'll say they all.
Well,
they all feel that.
we get some of all of them.
There you
I
go.
know what you mean. Y'all
we
are
got
right there in
smacked
that
a little
spot.
bit from, but yeah. So it just
Mississippi.
it just everything about it, and I think we find out we're more Mississippi every day that
Yeah.
we meet
Yeah. Sure.
somebody. They're
That's
just
amazing.
like,
I almost
"What
lost
is
my life
this?"
commercial fishing in the Mississippi River.
Ooh,
We
yeah.
fished in that river a lot, and the stories I tell about my family, and we spent a lot of time in Mississippi growing up.
Mhm.
We say it like the Mississippi people say it, Mississippi.
Mississippi. Yeah, that's my mama. Be like, Mama, you missing some syllables and letters. Okay, don't tell me. I'm like, all right.
Oh.
Well, I tell you, ladies, the hardest part of my job
Uh-huh.
is that I'm the one that has to give us the wrap up
I
signal.
already
You're
knew
the
that was
wrangler.
coming.
Wait,
I
But
knew that
I
was
tell
coming.
you
Talking
something.
yet?
That's
I
the
know,
truth.
I know. Listen, but you know
Would
what I'm
y'all
gonna
do it
s-
again?
Heck yeah.
I tell you what
Yeah.
we'll do sometime if y'all want to, and we have a beautiful studio where we do this over in Paris, Tennessee.
about 2 hours north.
Y'all ever been to Paris?
We haven't.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something.
We have an Eiffel
I
Tower.
played over there a bunch.
Oh,
And- yeah, and there's a big festival in Crepon, France, right outside of Paris. Sometime I might figure out how to get y'all hooked up, and they would love y'all.
Come on.
And we would love to
About
Yeah.
30,
Throw me in your
about 30,000 people. I couldn't believe it. I walked out. We sent $10,000 worth of merchandise, and we got over there, and the guy goes, "You got merchandise?" I said, "Oh, we sent that 2 months ago." He said, "Yeah, we sold that in 2 weeks." I'm talking about more.
Oh, wow.
We've missed a big
Sounds like
league.
something y'all sign up for.
Come on. Look,
Yeah.
we're ready.
Get y'all to
Good.
go and do that deal.
That'd
We're
be
gonna speak
fire.
all that into being because I
Come
I
on.
can't. First of all, y'all gonna sing together. I don't know
We
when or where,
must.
but how,
We
but that's gonna
must.
happen.
Darryl
And
promised us before we get off this couch, we're gonna do something together.
I promise you we will. And there, I could tell you 3 or 4 different songs to go listen to, because from hearing y'all do that song, I would immediately go, I would kind of like to do something spiritual with y'all.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
which
Maybe
one?
not country, maybe not blues, maybe not, but well, my spiritual songs are country and blues.
Look.
So
If
it's like
you want to sing "Oh McDonald," we
Come
got
on.
you. It don't matter what
we
you
should
want
don't
do
to
matter.
sing.
something. That'd be fun.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
We could share leads, and then I could sing harmony too. Oh, we could have. We can make us
be
make
fun.
us a good record.
Look, I'm excited.
And I love good folks from Mississippi. Come
Well,
on.
listen,
We
look, anytime you'll have us, we'll be there.
I like it.
Stamp from this day forevermore. Darryl Worley is a cousin of Chapel Hart.
All right.
109.
Number 109.
109.
And we'll end the episode right there. he's a cousin of Chapel Hart, and that'll be.
Sounds Like Life with Darryl Worley is a Blue Spire music production, hosted by Darryl Worley and Travis McLeese. Produced and edited by Mike Murphy and Sam Hudson. Set design by Sam Hudson. Theme song Sounds Like Life to Me by Darryl Worley. Executive producers Paul Perry, Julian Drennan, and Travis McLeese.